Shalom, and welcome to Israel Today. This is Rabbi Roger coming to you from Israel. My wife and I have lived in Israel about 9 years, and one thing I have to say we have noticed are the differences and indifferences between the religious and the Christians. One thing is for certain, the religious are just that. No explanation needed. Can you say that they have a heart after God versus a heart after what the rabbis say? Well, that is actually determined on an individual basis because as a whole, it is apparent that they are more after what man says rather than God. But there are some that we have run into who have a real heart after God and feel all of their works are helping them get into heaven. On the other hand, there are believers who supposedly are to be the light of the world and salt of the earth. Yet, these are the same people that the religious want nothing to do with because they view them as a threat and do not see their zeal for God. Now becomes the big question, who is right? Or should I ask, is something broken? Yes and no on both behalves. See, the rabbis have brainwashed the religious into thinking that if you study what the great rabbis and sages of their day said, then you will be just as good as they were, if not better. The reason I say brainwashed is because they do not want anyone, and I mean anyone, to find out or determine what they are being taught to avoid coming to the reality that Jesus is the one true Messiah. So as believers, are we any better off than they are? Not really. One thing is for certain, they are very zealous in their efforts, and most believers are not. They are out on the streets trying to get people to pray with their tefillin, or phylacteries, the little square box on their forehead. This is done because in Deuteronomy 6, we're told to bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontals on your forehead. Most believers cannot spend 5, 10, or even 15 minutes a day with God or His Word. Oh, by the way, do not take this as what you are to do by wearing one of these. I see the religious praying their prayers a few times a day from a prayer book. What is wrong with that? Well, it was explained to me that everyone prays the same prayers, and these are the prayers of the sages and rabbis. These are not the individual's own words. These are rote things to be done day in and day out. These prayers, and I will add commandments, they must follow daily by keeping them from thinking for themselves. Keeps them from straying off course to the right or the left. However, these sages are the same people that on their deathbeds did not know where they were going after they die. These are the same people they are following after and listening to that think and only think that what they are doing is correct. However, in Ezekiel 2, we are told not to follow after their ways. In summary, if we could mix it up and take a little bit from both sides, I really feel that as believers we would get it right, that we would become that true light Jesus told us to be rather than trying to please or follow after man. There's only one person we need to please, and his name is Jesus. If you want to get in touch with us or get on our mailing list, visit branchofisrael.com. Again, this is Rabbi Roger coming to you from Israel, and thank you for listening. Lehitraot, goodbye, or see you again.